President Byrne,
Here.
Trustee Hebda,
Here.
Trustee Cook,
Here.
Trustee Markwart,
Here.
Trustee Schultz,
Here.
Trustee Schwartz,
Here.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum present. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What do you want to do? Are there any citizens that wish to address the board this evening on anything other than what's on committee of the whole? If it's on committee of the whole and you came for that, you'll be, called upon. Okay. Next village board meeting, Wednesday, November 7th, 2012. Apparently we're taking off election night, right? Yeah, why not? Yeah. Okay, and then joint review board meeting, November 7th, 2012 at 5 p.m. Okay, village manager Oktoberfest, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, just thank you to everyone that was out, especially on that beautiful evening, Saturday before last. But hopefully, our nonprofits benefited, the Lions, seniors, the Vernon Hills Athletic Association, the Cougar Parent Connection, Youth and Family Counseling, District 76, a couple Scout Packs, District 128 was there, YMCA was there, which we'll talk about them later, and the Vernon Hills Park District participated. So there's a lot of groups. The Exchange Club was there too. So, and a special thanks to a couple of staff members, Monica Lundeen, the staff here at the Village Hall, and Pete Nielsen at Public Works, who did a lot of work setting it up. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So thanks to everyone. That's it, Mayor.
Okay. Next item is an omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through I?
So move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments, questions, or anybody want anything pulled? If not, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Yeah.
Second. We already did, second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. That's good. Roll call, please.
Trustee Cook,
Aye.
Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz,
Aye.
Trustee Williams,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Motion carries. Nobody's here for Chick-fil-A? Okay. All right. Unfinished business, approval of Kemper voucher list of bills dated October 16, 2012, in the amount of $13,000.90. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz,
Abstain.
Trustee Williams,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries. You got something you want to say, sir? What's that? You can come up.
I'm here, we're trying to get a sign for Manor Home, number 1.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a committee hall, okay. All right. Okay. B, approval and passage of ordinance 2012-059, ordinance amending ordinance 2012-034, granting approval of facade renovations for Olive Garden located at 701 North Milwaukee Avenue, Vernon Hills. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Motion and a second. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Trustee Cook?
Mike, the basic change, this was just a lowering of the,
Well, those two features on each side of the door,
Yeah.
they were coming out 8 inches, now they come out 4 feet, I'm sorry.
right?
Still stays within the sidewalk that's existing there. And then the height is gonna be lowered from 21 feet, 6 inches to 18 feet.
something.
Yeah, so it actually comes down to about even with the building top as opposed to
That's
sticking up
correct.
like a tower.
And then all the design as previously approved by the board remains
Yeah.
the same.
Color.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, roll call?
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is approval and passage of ordinance 2012-06, ordinance granting approval for development identification sign for manor homes of New Century Town 1 and 2 located at the intersection of Regency Drive and Lakeview Parkway in the village of Vernon Hills, Lake County. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions? If none, roll call.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Motion carries. You got your mic on, Lynn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, motion carries. You want to say anything now? Yeah, okay. Okay.
Why?
If you don't want to stay, you can leave.
Been there since 76.
So excited.
Okay, D, approval of passage of ordinance 2012-061, an ordinance granting a variation from the sign code for Vernon Hills, for Hawthorn Village Commons located at 220-290 Town Line Road in the village of Vernon Hills, Lake County. Is there a motion to approve?
So made. Second.
Motion is second. Under comments and questions, Trustee Cook.
Yeah, as one of the people that spoke quite a bit against it the last time, I appreciate the changes that were made. It's definitely smaller. Went out and looked at the site again tonight, and I really don't think this size will interfere. The current sign out there's probably in the neighborhood of 5.5, 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
and about 4 or 5 feet wide. So this isn't that much bigger anymore. It's not as high. So this should be fine.
Okay, so is there a motion and a second?
Is this the one on, this is the one on 60?
No, this is the one.
I mean,
this is the
on,
one at the
Lake-
corner of
Lakeview.
Lakeview and
Right.
Hawthorn Parkway.
And it's,
That's
Yeah,
set
and
back.
it's not that much bigger than
No.
the current existing sign.
Okay,
The other one was about double in height, so.
Is there a motion and a second?
the other one.
yep.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Motion carries. Huh. Hey, excuse me, does somebody have their charger cord?
Yep.
Are you charged up? All right.
Got it.
Well, here, can I have it?
Is that
Well,
gonna
I mean,
be
it's not, you know, I want to plug it in here.
right there by the gavel?
What?
You're ready to go.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
juiced.
All right. Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
It's kind of like a delay because of technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties we're having.
What the hell?
No, where did mine go? I was bragging, I haven't had any problems with it.
Okay.
You want mine?
It'll open again, see?
I don't know.
It was jealous.
Are we even here?
Not enough money. Wonderful. Okay, it doesn't matter. I got the agenda here. Okay, next is,
New business?
it must be out of juice. Has anybody got a hard copy? This thing is,
Of the
It says
entire
new
agenda?
business.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
is it nearby?
Isn't there one over there?
That's why
No, not just this.
I find
you
it
know.
strange.
Well, it's gonna have to charge.
But,
Well, it should open up though.
It'll open up. Yeah. Okay, well, under new business or communication, is there Anyone that has any new business or communication?
Isn't there one on the side? No, no. John will do it.
Okay, no one has any new business or communication? All right, is there a motion to adjourn the board meeting
So move.
Second?
and go into committee of the whole? There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
And there is a closed session.
Do we need closed session?
Yeah.
There's closed
Oh, yeah, we're
session
gonna go to closed session for what?
for lease, a property lease and a real property lease and acquisition, real estate acquisition.
No personnel?
Correct.
Okay. Everybody clear on that?
Yes.
Okay, now is there a motion and a second still?
You do.
Yes.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
trustee Schwartz,
Aye.
trustee Williams,
Aye.
trustee Hebda,
Aye.
trustee Cook,
Aye.
trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. First item is approval of committee of the whole minutes of October, thank you, 3rd,
You have to say it back to
2012.
her.
October 2nd.
October 2nd.
Second.
She's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
walk
sorry, October 2nd.
forward.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
Second?
motion is second.
No, I meant October.
Roll call, please.
July 2nd.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Motion carries. First item, number 2, approval of October 4th, 2012, special joint meeting of the Village Boards Committee of the Whole and Park District's Board of Commissioners of the Village of Vernon Hills. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments or questions or corrections or deletions? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 3, Hawthorn Place Outpatient Surgery Center. Vernon Square lots 3 through 5. Consideration of report and recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding a request for approval to allow Hawthorn Place Outpatient Surgery Center and parking lot, along with approvals of the primary and final site and landscaping plans and the building elevation and plat of re-subdivision in Vernon Square subdivision, subject to certain conditions. Okay. So who's taking this one, John or?
I got it, Your Honor. Thank you. Representatives from the Surgery Center appeared before the Plan Commission on October 3rd to request 3 items. First was to amend the Vernon Square subdivision agreement to allow the center to be built on lots 3, 4, and 5. Second was for final site landscaping and architectural plan approvals to allow the construction of a new medical office building and related parking lot. And then the third was a preliminary and final plat approval of Vernon Square first resub, which would allow for the consolidation of those 3 lots into one single lot. The plan is to construct a 1-story medical office building, which will be about 15,231 square feet, which will be constructed across lots 3 and 5 within the development. As indicated, the project will combine the 3 lots and connect the proposed parking lot with the existing parking lots, which serve the existing office buildings out there. As you will recall, the Committee of the Whole saw this project in December of 2011, and the project is basically the same as what you saw at that time. A single-story building, parking lot, enhanced landscaping, et cetera, et cetera. Vernon Square subdivision was originally developed in 1998 as a unified development that contained 9 lots. Since that time, the agreement has been modified twice. The most recent was to eliminate the buildability on Lot 5 and create a detention basin on that location, or on a portion of that lot.
Is there anybody here representing the petitioner?
Yep.
Who pray tell?
All these folks right here.
Okay. Is there any Ritacas here? There's no Ritacas involved?
No, they have their own building,
Okay.
including the basement.
Really?
Basement?
That was a long time ago.
The plan includes also 76 parking spaces, which meets the minimum required for the site itself. Landscape plan was also enhanced from what was previously approved, and actually it's turned out to be a very nice plan itself. They've also created a wetland barrier on the north side of the building that will buffer the building from a larger wetland complex which extends north from the site into our owned Lake Harvey. Plan Commission looked at this petition and had some concerns about only one item, and that was the porte-cochere located at the front of the building. That's the covered area where you drop off people at the front of the building, and directed the staff to work together with the petitioner to revise the roof to add some type of hip-style roof elements and improve the overall appearance. The plan that you have in your packet is that new elevation, and really I think it met the intent and overall design qualities that were set by the building and also requested by the Plan Commission. Overall, the Plan Commission felt that the proposed plan in total was well done and that it would complement the surrounding buildings, and therefore the Commission voted unanimously on the 3 items that were previously listed, and an addition. They separated the architectural vote again because of the porte-cochere concerns. So you actually had 4 votes that took place, all of which were unanimously approved. The motion was subject to conditions A through N in your packet. Again, item N in there has been satisfied with reworking of the portico feature in front of the building. The only other thing I would point out is that the plat for Vernon Square first resub requires that the signatures of the adjacent property owners also must be affixed to that plat, and the plat must be in our possession, ready for recording prior to issuance of a full building permit.
You know, can I ask a question? You know, what's the flood zone there?
Well, there's a 100-year floodplain north of the building itself.
Does that change at all, Dave? Isn't that right up against Lake Harvey, right?
It does. We've looked at this project. It is outside of the floodplain, so they're okay where they're proposing to build it. They do have preliminary floodplain maps that recently came out. This is one of the areas that shows fingers of floodplain all the way back to Center Drive.
Right. Well,
but those maps will be reissued, so there's no concern with this lot.
Are these built on a slab as opposed to a basement? Are they?
Yes.
It will be.
Yeah.
Are they going to elevate it a little, or?
I think so.
The interesting part with the floodplain, it's really, really down by the fence line. There's a little drainage way going through there. The rest of the site has been filled, so there's a substantial difference between the floodplain elevation and this building.
There's no trouble with the soils?
They can certainly tell us about the soils, but I suspect the soils are suspect.
I like the soil that you're doing. Who's going to tell us? Who's the mouthpiece on this?
Who drew the short straw?
Well, you can come up here, you know. Now, what's your capacity?
I'm Andy Burrell, the architect of record on the project. Soil conditions are not the best in the world, but what we're going to do is do either some type of deep foundation, caissons, driven piles, whichever the geotech recommends will be the foundation, so the building will not settle or sink when we're finished.
Okay. Will you need sump pumps there?
No, we won't need a sump pump because our foundation will be on the solid material.
Okay,
so if the ground goes down below us, the foundation and the floor is not going to settle.
Okay.
City of Chicago was constructed on some poor soils.
That is. That's kind of pricey.
It is pricey. I suspect you've done your due diligence and understand what you're getting into.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. You got subsidence insurance?
Sir.
Subsidence?
Subsidence.
You know what that is?
No, I'm not sure.
Subsidence?
What you're asking?
Okay. Well, like a sinkhole or something.
Oh, no, we haven't. The geotech reports that we've received to date doesn't show that.
You might want to load up on that, I think. Who are these good people you're representing here? Are you the owners?
No, the owner is...
You are? Oh, he's not here? Well, tell him the mayor said subsidence. See if that tell him to call his insurance agent. Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So
What
based,
about it?
based on those, the recommendations in items A through N, if the committee feels that the request is appropriate, it's recommended that staff be directed to prepare the necessary ordinance granting approval to amend the Vernon Square subdivision agreement to allow Hawthorn Place Outpatient Surgery Center and parking lot to be constructed on lots 3, 4, and 5, along with the approvals of the preliminary and final site, landscaping, and building elevations, and the plat of re-subdivision, subject to compliance with conditions A through N in my attached report. And I can answer any questions that
Yeah, and then they got a battle with the stormwater agency, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, it's Dave, so
Yeah, okay.
No battling.
he's a
Okay.
department, not an agency.
They got a battle with Dave?
Well, Dave, SMC, whatever, you know, okay. All right, is everybody clear with this motion? Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, motion to approve based on what John said.
Thank you.
There's a motion, second, trustee Cook?
I just wanted to compliment the Planning and Zoning Commission. This was,
Oh, yeah.
they put in a lot of effort on this and very well thought out, so.
Thank you.
Even the new guy, right? Was a new guy there?
Absolutely. He was very helpful.
I was glad
Very
he showed up.
Yeah, he's very helpful.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye?
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, next is, was it? Viacom?
Vinicom.
What is it?
Vinicom.
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 Okay.
Could
Vi-
be Vina.
Vinicom is a fiber optic company. We don't have a franchise agreement with them, but they have installed utilities in the village previously. It was presented, there was discussions with the board a few months back about them extending their lines from basically Deer Path and Phillip easterly, making it through Continental Executive Park out to Milwaukee Avenue. Now they're proposing a couple of additional phases within the Continental Executive Park, then an additional phase in Corporate Woods. Bob Kinney has drafted an agreement, so we have an agreement in place. It's consistent with other agreements that we've had with other utility companies that we are not covered by franchise agreements. One of the things that we ask for is performance guarantee, making sure that things are restored correctly. And there's also, one of the important items is the fee schedule on this. The previous agreements called for $2,500 per project, and staff's recommending that we do approve this agreement with a $2,500 per project basis. We also have something similar to Vinicom that's coming to the village. We got a application for a utility install. It's by Above Net, very similar to Vinicom. They're looking to be right next to the Victory Center and just extend across atrium and then bring the service into a building. So that's not a really large extension, but I wanted to advise the board for Above Net, we'll have a similar agreement, but for that, it's just augering under our roadway, so that's more $250 compared to what I had proposed for the other one. So I guess what I'm recommending is if there's any comments from the village board on Bob's draft. If not, I will bring this back to the board at the next meeting in resolution form that it could be approved by the board. But if there's any comments on Bob's draft, we are available to try to answer that question. I think the financial part was what we were working through mostly. The other agreements, language is consistent with previous agreements that have been before the board.
Did you? Yeah, okay. Are there any comments or questions from the board on this one? Okay, is this part of our telecommunication network / what we collect anything ahead into form of revenue? Oh,
Yes, I do think we do collect revenue from them.
where's Larry
If it's,
Gifford at?
if we get it by way of phone, now, I don't know if this actual, this is data, so I don't know if we get the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, I mean, but
We collect it on the carrier, so instead it's used by a carrier in Vernon Hills, and the carrier is generating revenue to collect telephone, simplified telephone.
so there is something we get out of this to help the community.
Yeah,
and-
indirectly, right?
Probably we'll get it.
Indirectly?
We'll get it-
Indirectly, it's from the carrier, it's not gonna come
Okay.
from,
Vinicom, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it won't
talking
come
over.
from these guys, but,
Vinicom puts the line in.
yeah.
And then the company that provides the actual phone service for the transmission of the data is going to be paying that fee,
Okay,
you know, on the,
all right.
on the bills.
So you just want to bring this back at the appropriate time?
I'll bring it back at the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board on this, or? No? Okay. Next item is Aspen Pointe Townhomes approval considerations.
Thank you. We're all familiar with Aspen Pointe, and we know that this project started roughly 5 years ago. The developer was able to work through the downturn in the economy. He came before the village board previously with a different product. That was approved, and that allowed him to move forward with additional construction. At this point in time, there are the final surfaces down, the curbs have been repaired, a couple squares of sidewalk that they're working on, and then there's improvements that are related to those buildings there, specifically. So 2 of them are, 3 out of the 4 are in the pond side, the west side of the project. 2 of them are under construction now. They do plan next spring to construct the following building. And obviously, they need to build the building before they build the driveways in the rear yard to connect into their parking lot area. So they're working towards those things, but those are really more tied into a building construction itself. What my recommendation is moving this into a maintenance period. That reduces it from the 100% guarantee to a 10% guarantee. We will require, as part of any approval, that any of the improvements that are not in there today, that they are starting to work through, extending the roadway, building the structure, putting the driveways in, putting the utilities in. Those will still be covered by this guarantee. It's a 2-year guarantee after the board approves it.
So you've sat down with Jacobs?
I've went over this with Keith Jacobs. He is receptive to this. This actually helps him a lot because it's freed up some finances with his bank. It's allowed some of the buildings to move forward. It's also allowed for him to pay for the final surface, et
How
cetera.
many's he got left?
He's got 4 buildings left.
Okay.
And so my recommendation is that the village board approve of the subdivision, move them into the maintenance period for 2 years, and any uncompleted work that's covered by a guarantee, that those things be included. So the roadway extension for those 3 buildings, the driveway connection.
There's no underground, though, is there?
No, the underground's been approved, the final surface is down. I think it's time to accept it because it has been that period of time. If this was a subdivision, say up in Greg's Landing, the roadways are in. It's just a matter of you build a building and you tie the driveway in. They just can't do that yet, but they're working towards 2 out of the 4 already. So recommendation, move them into the maintenance period. Any of the incomplete infrastructure items will be covered by that guarantee, and it's going to be for a 2-year period unless the board directs otherwise. But that's my recommendation.
All right, so basically you just want, any input from the board on this one?
If the board has
You just want to
input,
prepare this
glad
for,
to listen to it. Other than that, I would bring this back at the next meeting, move it into the maintenance period, work with John and Lisa on that.
everybody okay with
I
that?
don't have a problem with
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
So Dave, that means they're what, down to just about 3 or 4 buildings left, right? That's
They
it?
are down to 4 buildings. 2 of them are currently, Mike has issued them building permits on 2 out of the 4. The one that's westernmost up against the pond, they're looking to pull a permit in the spring. And then there's another building that's in the middle of the site up against Aspen Pointe Road that they haven't pulled a building permit, but that's off to the side where it's just a green space. It's not really impacting anyone. Gives the kids a place to play, I guess. I don't know. In the meantime,
okay.
Right, thanks.
thank you.
Okay, next is elected official compensation. Trustee Schultz.
I'm the one who asked staff to pull together a survey of the salaries that are paid through various communities. And at this juncture, I am not recommending a pay raise for the trustees. However, I am recommending a pay raise for the president. I have no intention of running for or ever becoming village president, so I do this with no malice aforethought. But with that being said, understanding the hours and the amount of time that the village president has to put in, and is always the face of the village to both our residents. Yeah, it is at times, but we'll leave that sleeping dog alone.
Oh, yeah.
I understand the the face that he has to put forward, not only to the business community, but to the residents, 24/7. And right now, his compensation is, I believe, $11,240. That includes the liquor license commission adjustment. And I would like to see it somewhere,
Well, I get $1,000.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I'm not, you keep going.
So with that being said, I've noted that there's a number of communities that are roughly in the $14,000 to $15,000 range, and that would be my recommendation coming from this seat. And at that point, I really don't have anything else to say other than if someone would like me to offer a motion, but I guess I'd like to hear my fellow trustees' opinions on this.
Okay, Trustee Schwartz.
I've also asked to have this reviewed, and looking at the information here, I agree with Trustee Schultz on the mayor's salary. Should be increased because of the time and effort he puts in. Also, when was the last time, Manager Allison, that there was any type of a
12 years.
raise?
It was before I came on the board,
It's been a long time, Larry.
and I came back in 2001.
10 years or so?
Okay.
Oh, it's more than that.
It's been-
It's 12, I think it's 12 years.
It has not been increased since I came back, and I came back in 2001.
20 years.
No, it's going to be in the
Whatever it
neighborhood
was.
of about, I would say 12 or 15
12
minimum.
years, I thought.
Right.
So, yes, I would agree with Trustee Schultz on the mayor's salary. The trustee salary, in looking at what the other villages are being paid, I don't necessarily see, even though it has been the same for a long time, we're pretty competitive with everybody else, so.
Trustee Hebda.
I know that being on the board since 1993, the salary is never, we've talked about it, but we never, ever increased the mayor nor the trustee's salary, so certainly. No,
Yeah,
never.
really, yeah.
Did we? Oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe I forgot. But anyway.
I think we did the trustees.
We did the trustees?
Long time ago.
It's been a long time, but,
Yeah, well,
but
it was-
reflecting on that, your commitment as the mayor is certainly a huge amount of commitment in terms of meetings, going places, going to Springfield, going here, whatever. So I think it's only fair that we try to compensate. And so I'm going to make a motion that we compensate mayor's salary at least to be at least $15,000.
15 is what
Second.
There's more
Is
input
that-
here.
is that
There's a
including
motion and a
the-
second, but
That would be with the,
Including the liquor license.
That's
Liquor
including,
license,
so
yeah.
14 for mayor and 1,000 for
right,
mayor.
for 1,000.
Trustee Williams.
Yeah. Well, part of that was going to be that, but I agree with what you said. Roger puts in a lot of hours that I don't think some of us really realize that he puts in. Being the mayor is more than attending meetings, making a few phone calls. He's out there talking to people. I know just about every night he is someplace at some meeting. Not every night all year long.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
90% of the time he is out there doing something representing us as residents of the village. So he definitely deserves and should get a raise. As far as a trustee salary, I agree that, you know, it looks like it's right in line, but can we at least round the darn thing off? It's got the weirdest amount. You know, $27. Round it up to 6 and be done with it. Or round it down to 58. It's just stupid having it at $27. So my recommendation on that one would be simply to round it off. There's a lot of them at 6,000 and just make it 6 and be done with it.
Okay, trustee, Corporation Counsel Kenny.
I don't want to cut off any conversation. I just have a legal statement to make on timing.
This is good then.
Okay. The timing when increasing salary of trustees or any official has to be at least 180 days before the term begins.
We already passed that.
So taking action at the first meeting in November would be timely so that it could go into effect for the village president's new term in starting in May. If it's not done by the November 7th meeting, then it does not go into effect until 4 years later. So intending for it to go into effect next May, we should take that, adopt that ordinance at our next meeting.
At the next meeting.
When is our next meeting?
I was afraid we'd
November-
already,
I'm
I
sorry,
thought we'd already
November
passed
7th.
that date.
We have to do it by November 7th at
All
our
right,
next
so-
meeting.
Okay, does the first agree to round the trustee's salary to 6,000 then?
Yes.
Does the second agree?
Yes.
Well, who was the first?
Oh, I made the motion.
No,
So I'm-
you
Cindy
were
made the
first.
motion.
I made the
Jim
motion, so
seconded.
I'm the first. I agree.
All right.
Yes.
So, okay, is everybody clear with that?
Yes.
So basically,
Just to
my
make it
salary,
even.
or mine or whoever's in this seat in May is 14 plus the 1.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then the trustees' salary will go
Just to
to,
round it
from 5827 to 6,000.
5827.
And anybody that is in midterm, any trustee in midterm would have to wait
2 years,
the
right.
2 years
Right. Yes.
before it would go into place
Right.
for a trustee in midterm.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. All right, there's a motion, a second, and as amended, right? And the motion, the first and the second agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz.
Aye.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Spend
Strategic
it all in
plan,
place.
you know, we gotta, yeah,
This is the whole.
yeah. Well, I don't need it. Yeah, I'll look at it. But, is there anything else that the board, you know, wants to add to the strategic plan? We should get it out to the people, you know? Now, in conversation with trustee Hebda, you know, if in fact something goes down on our next topic, she suggested, you know, the old village hall / now park district building be, you know, turned into senior daycare or just a senior center, or, you know, which is, that, I mean, it's fine with me, because in the event we do get the YMCA and the park district, would they move their administrative, no, would they?
Would they?
Would they move some of their staff from here
Would they
to
move
there?
Would they move all their staff?
Oh, so that would free up this building. That could be. Well, anyway, I'm just asking
Well,
if
they have to-
the board wants to add that to the plan, if.
Well, I think what, my understanding of it, and obviously they're still thinking it through, but they would have to make modifications and spend some amount of money to do that, which they may not do right away.
Right.
Because
Okay. Well, yeah.
depending on what the arrangement we would make
Well,
with
this
them
is
if we're
long-term
involved.
stuff.
Yeah, right.
Well, we'll have.
Well, anyway, you guys could, if there's anything anybody wants to add, I mean, this is the time, I mean, does anybody want to say anything on this, or? Trustee Markcourt.
Yeah, just.
Excuse me.
If this went through, do I understand it that we, the village, would be buying the building?
Oh, I don't know
And then
at
the
this
park
point.
district being in it, so
Well, I don't know if I could go that far yet,
Well, I'm
you
just-
know, I mean,
that's
you know.
just saying,
some of
what
the
if?
talks.
Oh, what if?
What
Yeah.
if?
Or,
You
Because
said
those
what
were
if,
the-
he's saying
those were
what
some
if.
Yeah,
of the
okay,
talks. I'm
okay.
just trying to make sure who's buying the building.
well, we don't know yet,
I
maybe.
think you need to discuss that in
Oh, we're good.
executive session, what you know, because there's a question of valuation and how you want to approach it and all that kind of stuff.
But we need, you know, obviously, we haven't seen financials. You know, I know there was something in the paper today in the neighborhood section. Do you think those numbers were, I guess, corroborated by your meeting on Friday in Waukegan? Were they talking?
I didn't see that article.
Oh, okay, well, they were saying it was 2.1 million in Waukegan and 4.1 here.
Right.
As far as how the debts was split out.
Well, yeah, but they keep claiming they
That
don't know
might just
that.
be on the building,
They're just
for all
talking
I
about the valuations of the building, yeah.
The bank-
And
I don't-
that's
yeah,
what
well,
I was
it
always
kinda added up
told.
to 6 million, which
Right.
we've been led to believe.
Right.
So
But-
I don't know if I don't think it dealt necessarily with the market value of the building. That's
Right.
what I think, you know, but do they owe that on our building, and do they owe the 2.2 million or whatever on what?
No, I think the way they've explained it to us, consistent, one thing that's been consistent, they have a $6 million debt.
Oh, yeah.
6 million plus debt on their whole operation.
Okay, and they didn't break.
Waukegan and here,
And
correct.
they didn't break it out for you?
No, well, they can't, because it isn't broken out. It's collateralized by those two buildings.
So,
That's 6 million
okay,
in debt.
so this article might have been pertaining to what? What they think the value of the
Right.
buildings? I mean,
Yeah, they've talked, the bank's valuation, as I understand it, is in that vicinity. Yeah.
for
The 4.2 million and
for Waukegan
2.2.
and 4.1 here?
Correct. That's what I've been told about the
Just
bank.
asking.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Well, that's coming up next anyway, so, I mean, on the agenda, right?
I don't know, mine's
So we're
lost
talking
again.
still about the strategic plan. I mean, is there anything anybody wants to add?
No, not at this time.
I don't have a problem adding
I mean,
the rec
No, I don't
center, you know, I mean, or.
I
not
just
the rec
thought if indeed that building eventually down the road, let's say it's not next year, but if it becomes available, then is there a way to incorporate a senior center, daycare, adult daycare? I mean, I would hate to see that building just sit there with nothing in it. So maybe that's just a long-term goal. I would just like to put it in the strategic plan, just to have it out there.
I think
And
it'd be a good idea.
it may not happen, it may happen, so.
Put the building in.
The Lashon Center, yeah.
Okay.
So just put,
I don't have
mean,
a
it's-
problem with that.
put it under the building, under public facilities.
Yeah.
And call it Lashon Center potential repurpose of the building.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I'd put
you
that-
may,
I'd
you
be
may come to the
specific.
point
Well,
where
my
it's not,
specific goal
remember,
is-
there was a reason we moved out of that building. So you
The
may
same reason,
evaluate
it's the
it,
same problem we have in this building.
well, but we're consistent, anyway.
That's true.
But,
I mean, the functionality of the building?
No, the
Correct.
heat and the air conditioning.
well, that was one element. It was the functionality of the building.
But that
And
was
some
the
of the
excuse
problems
they
at the
used.
lower level. So I think you'd want to really do an assessment on that and see how much the annual cost of operating it is And obviously, any program that you referenced, Trustee Hebda, you'd want to evaluate the
Sure.
program, how much it would cost, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know,
I'd
but
be
we
more
could add
inclined
it.
to accept just that as a long-term goal, that the village supports the
Yes,
creation
daycare.
of a senior recreation slash whatever facility.
That's a good word.
Yeah, for.
Well, yeah, it's that, you know, it's a nice
Wherever it
problem
may
to
be.
have, you know, this, and,
Doesn't
you
have to
know,
involve
what's happened unfortunately, potentially with the Y, and, you know, and so if this building's vacated, because we gave it to the Park District anyway, so, you know, if it got used for the seniors, so be it. I know, and we got a space here, people watching home, we got nice space downstairs, and we even got a freed up space now where we had the library, so there's
Right.
another, what, 3,000 square feet?
Right.
But, you know, I don't know.
We could almost
Over
hold
there, you
conventions.
could, you know, being a senior, you could roam around over there, there's kind of different floors and places to go hide and stuff. You know.
We could house conventions, it's breakout rooms.
Well, yeah,
You know.
I think it
That's
should just be
you know
in
what I mean?
general.
It's like, hey, you know,
I think it should just be
you
in
could
general.
float between the two buildings. Yeah. All right, well, anyway, put that in, I'd put that
Well,
in there.
so,
that, you
so
know.
under public facilities, you want to put down, senior center
Senior center.
evaluation.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep it vague and,
Right.
Right.
Well,
At least
creation
the-
of senior daycare.
Well-
I don't know.
That might work.
do you want to do
Senior-
that? You know, I
I'm
mean,
almost ready
Well,
for
you
well,
could,
you
yeah,
want
we
to
could address
evaluate.
that
I
at
mean,
the appropriate time,
Most
but if that building comes available, we're gonna make it a senior center.
I think somewhere in here is that.
I said
point.
already.
Not about the
This building?
facility. No, in the strategic plan, because Trustee Hebda did bring it up when we
I
did the
brought it
plan.
up before.
It is in here.
Put it
it's
in there
not-
with specificity, right?
Adult,
We could call it
Oh,
the
yeah.
trustees and,
Okay,
you
adult
know,
daycare
retirement
is
All
in
center.
gonna be there
Do you wanna-
someday.
Trustee Hebda, adult daycare is in the plan.
Is
It's
it
just
in the-
not under public facilities.
Okay.
Do you want,
Well-
it's under policy.
All right.
Do you want to leave it there and just leave it
Probably
there?
leave it.
Rather than
It's
repeat
there,
it?
Leave
just,
it there
instead
and
of
then
ripping
just
the whole
put
thing apart, leave it
Senior
there.
you know,
Yeah, it's there.
leave adult day, if adult daycare is in there, leave it where it is, but then add this other piece to public use buildings.
Okay, so you want to put senior center
Senior center.
evaluation or something like that, okay. Okay, we'll add that.
I still think we should have conventions.
Well, put it,
No, I'm just
you know, I mean, but, yeah, I don't know, it's a kind of a white elephant,
Yeah, it is.
convention center or performing arts center, Jesus. You know, you gotta fill the place. I'm sure the towns that have them are hurting right now with, you know, the revenue flow.
casino.
How about a zoo?
Casino.
How about a zoo?
Go for it.
Gotta feed those animals.
I'm only kidding. No, seriously, is there any other,
No.
you know,
No, I agree. It should
item
be a
or,
senior center.
you know, we've, you know, a lot of input from residents and our input and, you know, staff's input within reason. So, you know.
Sure, I'll take that.
Okay, all right, well, why don't we try to approve this before the end of the year, maybe, yeah?
Well, my thought was, we'll add the one item, have a resolution on for the 7th of November.
All right,
Is that
yeah,
go?
we should,
Okay.
and we should get it out to the, you know, the residents, you
Right.
know?
Okay.
Okay, next is the YMCA. Are we-
Well, there's a couple items just to mention publicly. You've seen the non-disclosure agreement. The
Oh, yeah.
Park District is, I just handed it out tonight. Bob has been talking to the attorney from the Park District, and Park District has already signed it. We just wanted to run it by you before I signed it, or you, Mayor, signed it. And I think more of this information is germane to the Park District. Because we're not gonna operate the facility, and I don't think,
No.
no one's articulated that.
No.
So our involvement is somehow facilitating the Park District to operate it, or facilitate the Y to continue to operate,
Right.
if that's your desire. So,
Is there any
But-
meeting planned sooner than later with the folks from the Y, and are we any closer to get the bank in the room, or, you know?
Not yet.
I mean,
well, what I'm gonna talk to you later about is it may facilitate a meeting with, of all you to decide next steps.
Okay,
You know,
all right.
so.
Does anybody have any comments or questions on basically what, the confidentiality or non-disclosure agreement?
And they still continue, we just got a call today about doing a special event.
Really?
So they want to do a special event on the 27th or 28th.
For what?
Well, to do fundraising.
No, I know,
And it
but
would
I
be
mean-
internally in the building, they
Oh, in
said.
the
John
Yeah.
talked to them.
They're talking about doing some kind of Halloween event. Looks like it'll be inside. They want to utilize the building instead of being outside, so that may negate the need for a special event permit, which we would have liked to have brought before you tonight, but we would request your concurrence if they decide to go forward with that. There's also some ideas about bringing in food. If they stay inside the building, they have a health department permit through the kitchen that's currently there to be able to do it.
Yeah, it would
So I
be
think
good.
we're okay there. And as long as they stay inside the building, we're okay. And if they go outside, then they'll have to get a tent permit. If you're okay, we'll just issue them a special event permit, and then we'll deal with, we'll send them to the health department to make sure they deal with
Would
that.
you like a motion to that effect? Would that be
You know what, that
helpful?
would be great. That would be fine.
Motion to allow the YMCA of Vernon Hills to hold a special event on their property in accordance with all the rules and regulations of the village and the state.
It would be on either the October 27th or the 28th. That date.
Subject to staff approval.
Well, and, you know, would that include if they decide, hey, we want to put a tent up?
Right, we can issue.
I mean, that would give you
Yeah.
enough
Yeah,
that's the
flexibility.
subject
Yeah,
to-
If you
absolutely.
wanted to, okay,
Yeah.
fine, or do a hayride or something, or,
Right.
okay. All right,
Second.
so there's a motion, and a second, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye?
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, that's about it, huh? Okay, is there a motion
Well,
to adjourn
do
and
we-
go into closed session?
Well, does
go
the
ahead.
attorney wish to have a motion for the non-disclosure agreement?
I don't know that we need a motion for the non-disclosure agreement. It's more to be aware that that agreement exists. So to the extent the village gets some information, it'll be submitted subject to an exemption under FOIA. So, you know, the staff will have, limited staff will have access to it, but it won't be available generally because this is all confidential information from the Y. So I think as long as,
All right,
I don't think we need a motion.
okay, is there a motion to adjourn committee to hold and go into closed session to discuss what, potential land acquisition? or-
Leasing and acquisition of real property.
Is everybody clear on that?
Yes.
Okay,
Motion to
motion and
adjourn.
second? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Hebda?
Hebda.
Trustee Cook?
Aye?
Trustee Markwart?
These questions are too tough.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Schwartz?
Aye.
Trustee Williams?
What is this,
Motion carried. What?
Yeah, I need it down.
What?
when you're done?